Hi, I want to share a story with you about a client that I was with this week. Now, I'm not going to tell you her name and I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty details of the conversation, but I think that you might relate to this story in some way. So, this client is having some relationship challenges, and she was telling me, some of the details of what the challenges of her relationship were. And she said, I have a great life. I've got great friends. I have great relationships with my families. I've got a good relationship with the father of my son. Business is really good. Money is flowing in, she says. But this one particular area of my life, relationship, she says, why can't I figure that out? And she couldn't figure out why she is always attracting the same type of person into her life. So we started talking about the type of person that she is always attracting in her life. And I asked her what it is that she wants from a relationship. And she went on to tell me what it is that she wants from a relationship. And for her, what was really important was somebody that is transparent in a relationship. Somebody that isn't going to want to have secrets and have a certain part of their lives be autonomous from her. So she basically wanted somebody that was emotionally available, really solid and strong in who they are and what they bring into a relationship, and somebody that is, for all intents and purposes, really whole as an individual. And I think that really that's what a lot of us want. I know for me, that's what I look for in a relationship as well, is that transparency and just open and honest, able to communicate and so on. So the trouble though was this disconnect between intellectually she gets it, but then the disconnect is between what she knows she wants. Intellectually, she knows what she wants, but there's a disconnect between what she wants, she knows she wants, and what she keeps on attracting into her life. So for her, she is attracting emotionally unavailable men who really can't commit to her at the level that she wants. So does that sound a little bit like you? So for me, that was my story as well. I would attract emotionally unavailable men. I would attract men that were just out of a relationship, and I thought, I'll just jump right in, and yeah, I'm okay with you just being recently separated, and that just doesn't work. I also attracted men and relationships where we'd have like a close weekend together, and then he would disappear without a word for weeks on end. And if all of that kind of stuff doesn't shake your confidence, it's a real confidence killer when you have one bad experience after another, after another, after another. And so I asked her, do you even know this? I wrote the question down here. Do you even know who you are inside the relationship that you say you want to have? So at the crux of all of this is that we have learned how to do relationships based on what we learned when we were young. Everything in our life, all of our stories, all of our beliefs, the things that we do are all based on what we've learned from our childhood. And for me, in my own childhood, what I learned is that the woman is the leader of the pack. She is the one that is the breadwinner. She controls the finances. She looks after the children. She is the queen bee. And basically, the man is, rides her coattails. So that was my story, and that was the thing that I needed to get past. Now, my siblings will probably tell you a completely different story, but that was my interpretation of what I was witnessing as a young girl. So for her, and I'll share just a little bit, she had her mother was largely the same way, where her mother took care of everything, and her dad wasn't really present in the household. He showed up, they had a lot of fun together, but he was not emotionally available. So what we do with that is we call in all of these experiences that support us in having exactly what we believe to be that are relationships that support what we've learned. And on a deep emotional level, we can't see it, we don't really understand it, but right from the time we get out there into this dating world and start having these relationships, we are calling in those same experiences. And it's why they say that women will look for somebody like their fathers, and men will look like somebody like their mothers. And the whole thing is really quite complex, right? So when I asked her, do you even know what it's like, who you are inside of a relationship that is everything that you want it to be? She had to stop and think for a minute, because she's never had that type of relationship, although in her mind she knows exactly what she wants, but she's never had that type of relationship. So who do you need to become? What stories do you need to let go of in order to have that relationship that you want to have? And that's the big question. And it is a pretty scary thing, because even though what we keep on attracting into our life isn't necessarily what we want, and it's not necessarily comfortable for us, and it's definitely shakes our confidence to the core, and makes us wonder if we'll ever find what we're looking for, I can tell you 100% that you can find exactly what you're looking for, but it does take a little bit of inner work. You got to let go of some crap that you have been hanging on to, right? So where do you even start to start letting go of this type of thing? Well, first of all, if you take a step back from everything and kind of look at your relationships on a whole, you don't have to dissect every relationship, but just kind of generally get a sense of the types of relationships you've been having, and then look back to what you learned as a young child and see where the intersect is. That's going to give you a good starting point of really what your patterns and what your beliefs are. Now, I did a 4-part video series on attachment styles. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, or even if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can go through my videos and you'll see the 4 different attachment styles, where I talk about how we develop these attachment styles and how they show up in our relationships. So if you're interested, you can go and look for those attachment styles. But basically, so back to how do you start to move through all of this and allow yourself to start attracting the type of relationship that you really want to have in your life. So basically, understanding kind of what your patterns of belief are based on what you've learned when you were young. And from there, it's just about a process. And sometimes you need a little bit of help with that process. And I'm happy to help you with that process. But it's about making a conscious decision that you're going to quit doing those types of relationship, and that knowing who you are, what you need, how you make yourself happy, and raising the bar on what types of people you are going to invite into your life. So if you need some help with this, I can absolutely help you with this. And I will leave my contact information if you're watching this in my private Facebook group or on Facebook. You can just go ahead and send me a private message and we'll connect that way. If you are watching this on YouTube, then I will leave some information on how you can contact me, and I can help you work through this, because the type of relationship that you really want to have is possible. You do have to let go of who you have been, and in order to have that, though. So I have this saying: better you, better relationships, better love. The better you are, the more whole and complete you are, the better quality relationships that you're going to have. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please do leave a comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until then, I am Iris Sirianni. I am a relationship coach and expert, and I can help you find the love that you're looking for. Bye for now.